guys, Hillary here with Waterlogged. I am at a very special place that is near and dear to my heart. This is the very first aquarium that I visited when I was in California. This is the Heal the Bay Aquarium. If you've ever been to Santa Monica Bay Pier, this aquarium is located just at the base of the pier, and it has some of the coolest, most unique exhibits that I have ever seen. So come on, join me. We're going to go get a tour of this aquarium. Let's go. Now, if you notice, there might be some construction equipment and some stuff going on in the background, but they are doing renovations, which is really cool to see during this time because, you know, these aquariums have been down, they haven't had guests coming in, so that's a perfect time to spiffy things up and make them look all nice for the public. Let's go. Oops. Hi.
Welcome to Heal the Bay Aquarium.
Thanks. This is Jenna. She's going to be my tour guide for today.
Yes. And we are in the midst of a little bit of a renovation, so there's a little bit of materials, things around, some construction. But it's all for some exciting new things that we're going to be able to offer once we are able to safely reopen to the public.
We're excited.
All right, perfect. Let's dive in.
I like the pun.
This is our kelp forest exhibit. It's a great example of a really important ecosystem that we used to have flourishing off our coast. We've lost at least 90% of all our kelp forests off the California coast.
Wow.
And yeah, they're important areas for nurseries for animals. It's a keystone habitat for a lot of species. So we like to highlight what's so important about it. Besides the fact that we get most of our oxygen from phytoplankton, things like algae, it's important to breathe.
Yep.
So we like to showcase what a healthy kelp forest habitat can look like. So we have California spiny lobsters.
Look at him!
One of my favorites. We have one that recently molted, so I think that molt's outside at the moment being used.
That's pretty cool.
I apologize, my glasses are going to fog up a little bit.
No worries.
But it is the age of masks.
Yes.
There is our state marine fish, the Garibaldi.
Oh.
We actually have two in here, and they're both juveniles because you can actually see the blue spots. As they get older, they fade a little bit.
You know what? So it's interesting. I love following you guys' Instagram page, and I think it's K-Swiss has some shoes, and so the kids version of the shoes has the blue coloring on them, and the adults are the bright orange. So if you guys haven't checked out, I don't know if those shoes are still available.
They are, yes.
But definitely go check those out and get yourself a pair.
Yeah, we have all the links on our website. They actually have a brand new exclusive sneaker just for kids.
Yes!
That's super cute. So.
I saw them. I was like, I wonder if they come in my size? Because they're like white with the little octopus and the fish.
Cute
And
animals.
they're adorable.
Exactly. Yeah, so we've got Salima, some Sargon here, all different species that you find off our coast. All of the animals that we have at our aquarium are local species. So
okay.
We like to say you're meeting your marine neighbors from next door. So just like we care about public health, how pollution impacts us, people in LA, everyone across the world, it also impacts the animals that live directly next to us too. So we want to make sure that they're part of that community as we work towards cleaning it up.
You know, and it's cool too, like if you come like me the first time I was here, I was out on the pier, and I'm like, oh, I wonder what fish are there. So if you're like looking over the edge of the pier, and then you can come down here and see all of the fish that, you know, are just below the surface of the water.
Exactly. We like to say it's a way to dive in without getting your feet wet.
I like that. I like
it's
that.
It's an ocean for everyone. And then
all right, check out this big old tank. Now I gotta ask, is this a giant sea bass?
That is.
A baby giant sea bass, maybe?
It is a baby giant sea bass. She is a big baby.
Aww.
But she's a juvenile. She's almost 5 years old. I think 5 years in November.
Wow.
When she first came here, she was less than 2 inches long.
Oh my goodness.
Weighed just maybe a few ounces, and now I know she's at least over 20 pounds. I think over 30 inches. I might be mixing those two up, but she's a big baby. But it's neat. So she's part of a research project. They've been studying their spot patterns.
Oh.
So what they found is that their spots, which they have from basically when they hatch, from their young of the year stage, those spot patterns are unique, almost like a fingerprint.
Huh.
And so they'll be able to track them as they get older. Spotting giant sea bass is a great project. So if you see one in the wild and you take a picture, they can actually use an algorithm to match up the spots and track them as they grow. So we can hopefully watch them grow to be, because they'll get to be at least 7 feet long, like 500 pounds.
That is cool. So if somebody that's watching this wants to participate, or if they're out fishing or something and they see a giant sea bass, what do they need to have a specific I guess, section of the fish that they take a photo of, or like as much as they can get?
As much as they can get, yeah. They're finding that they're pretty unique, so I think even if you got a partial side, that might be a good enough match to maybe look through their system and find them in there.
That is pretty cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, Cabrillo Marine Aquarium is one of the another great facility where they are actually raising them. They released a bunch out earlier this year too, so
cool.
They're repopulating them because they're an endangered species. They were almost completely removed from our local waters from overfishing, I believe from bycatch. So it's really, really great to see their populations, their numbers going back up and thriving.
That is exciting.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Just like such a giant fish. I'm like, oh, that's a full-grown adult. No, it's a baby.
She's just a baby.
She's so cute.
So the goal is to, ideally, maybe in about a year or so, when she's a little older, will be to release her actually out into the wild.
That's awesome.
So we'll be able to, because of her spot pattern, track her for hopefully many, many years to come.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And then this Under the Pier exhibit gives you kind of a good snapshot of what you would find if you were just looking over the pier edge, what actually lives underneath the pier. We have California halibut, one of my favorites.
I love, this is one of the few places I think I've ever seen them, like, I don't want to say in their like native environment looking, but it's so cool. Like, where's he at? Where's he at?
That's one of my favorites, kind of like a scavenger hunt. When the kids come in, whether it's from field trips or the public, and we say, hey, can you find the camouflage fish? Yep. And once they find it, it's incredible because this is still a small halibut. They are able to kind of change colors to kind of match the sand with their spot patterns. And the coolest thing about flatfish, they're all born with eyes on both sides when they're first born. 2 weeks in, one eyeball goes right through and pops out the other side. So they're literally swimming sideways. We like to tell kids they don't realize that.
Oh, that's so cool.
But they can camouflage and still see with their eyes.
That is impressive.
There's a couple of juvenile leopard sharks in here.
Yay, so small.
Yeah, so once they're a little bigger, we'll find another aquarium, another exhibit, bigger habitat for them. Because they can grow to be at least, I think, 5 to 7 feet, depending if they're male or female.
So the aquarium that I work at, our largest shark is a leopard shark, and he's a Japanese leopard shark. I'm not sure if it's the exact same species, but it's the biggest shark that we have in the tank, and like, it's so cool. Like, he comes up, and you're just like, whoa.
Yeah, and they're common out here. They tend to be in schools. A lot of people are swimming and surfing. I've been on a paddleboard and they're just right underneath you. They'll just swim right on by. They're looking for things in the sand. They're mostly hunting worms, crabs, clams, whatever they can find.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Now, what is this guy back here in the back? Is that?
That is, I apologize, my glasses are getting fogged, so I'll take them off. That is a California scorpion fish.
Oh, cool.
So those are the ones, they have venomous spines. They are not ones those in the course you'd want to handle.
I like how when you look at these pilings, they have a lot of shellfish and it looks like mussels and maybe an oyster on there. So when I first started out, a lot of my graduate research was all with like oyster restoration and living shoreline projects. So, you know, I really appreciate seeing the shellfish in different collections because I feel like they always get like left behind and people don't always think about them, but that's one thing, one species I feel like you can almost always find anytime there's hard structures.
Yeah.
So one of the really cool things about this aquarium is that it's got a lot of touch tanks if you want to come and interact. And one of the things I love is kelp. I don't get to see a lot of kelp. Growing up on the East Coast, kelp was not a thing. So I've got to... Look at this.
It's wonderful. Yeah, and you can see the bite marks for the red abalone. We have one California sea heron here that I've been munching on this. So we get fresh live kelp every week from our boat collection. And this way we have fresh food for these animals. Kelp is actually fantastic. So this is giant kelp. And this is one of the coolest things about it is with the right amount of nutrients, right amount of sunlight, water temperature, they prefer cooler waters. So when we get El Nino events or warm water events, you tend to see kelp kind of degrade and go down. But this can actually grow about 1 to 3 feet every single day. There are so many things
every day.
Every single day.
Wow.
So many things rely on it for food, for habitat. So it grows very, very quickly to be able to provide that for all the animals in the kelp forest ecosystem.
Look at him. I probably get way too excited about this stuff and I'm not even sorry about it.
Actually, that's one of the most fun things about this tank is actually feeding the abalone. I never thought it'd be as fun to feed a snail until I came here. So I'm trying to see, but if you take a little piece and you kind of put it up.
Oh, look at him!
They'll actually grab it from you.
Okay.
If you want to find one.
Yes!
I think actually right here, there's a couple.
Oh, are you hungry? I'll wait for you. Hi, buddy. C to table, right there. C to mouse, not even to table. You don't even have to get to the table.
Yeah, sometimes you can see it right up against the glass too when they bring the radula out.
Now the radula are the little scrapers in I guess scrapers, not very scientific, but best way to describe it if you see them hanging out on the glass,
yeah, it looks almost like they call it a rasping tongue. It almost looks like a little buzzsaw that's just coming out of their mouth, and that's what they use to scrape off algae, whatever they can eat.
That's so neat. One of the things that I learned about the last time I was here is starfish. So this is a sunflower starfish?
Yes, this is a sunflower star.
Look at all those arms.
Yeah. So last count, we like to have visitors help. I think this sea star had about 19 arms.
Ooh.
First came here about maybe 3, 4, 5 years ago. Very, very small, maybe a couple inches in diameter. And when they first started developing, they have that standard, 5 arms you typically see on most sea stars. They just keep developing. So full-grown sunflower stars can be about the size of a manhole cover, almost a meter in diameter, about 3 feet across.
Holy cow!
Have anywhere from maybe up to 25, maybe 30 arms. It varies, but they are known as a big predator in the sea. You can watch really amazing time-lapse footage of them just kind of emerging over the rocky reef, and everything scatters.
Wow.
Just to get out of the way. I think sunflower star is actually one of the sea stars that could eat moon snails.
Really?
Which are the big
Those are the
ones,
big
too.
guys.
Mm-hmm.
No, you don't like that?
Yeah, we're all about interaction and discovery and just full-on engagement here. So it's a really great way because we love people to, visit tide pools, but to do it obviously safely, responsibly. We want people to be safe when they're interacting with the animals, and also, very importantly, that the animals are safe when they're interacting with us. So we teach people the 2-finger touch. If you are using 1 finger, especially if you're a little younger, you might not know when you're poking, so 2 fingers. We always say, hey, touch your nose, pet it really nicely. If that feels nice, then it's nice for the animals too.
I like that, that's good.
Just to be very, very gentle.
Now this sunflower, he's like super soft almost?
Feels like a pillow.
Yeah, like really
like a
kind
squishy marshmallow pillow.
Like fluffy.
And that's because they have a little bit different of a structure. So sea stars, they have one primary structure, that's their body. Sunflower stars, because they eat larger prey, similar to how a snake can kind of unhinge its jaw to eat something bigger, they're kind of in plates inside. Instead of one hard structure for the sea star, it's a bunch of little plates so they can actually expand to take in food. Because these animals, I love it, when they feed, they actually basically throw up their stomachs outside their body, digest things around, turn things into a little bit of a muscle smoothie, and then slurp it up. But sunflower stars, just like sand stars, they swallow their prey whole. So they don't divert their stomachs, they actually bring it inside.
That's cool.